Hey guys, it's Bill. I have an area here that I filled in with dirt and planted some grass seed last year, but I've decided it'd be a great place to plant some pumpkins. So I'm gonna prep that bed today, and in a couple days we'll plant those pumpkins. So here's the area. It's right next to those wildflowers you might have saw in an earlier video. So let's get that prepped, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is dig in some rows here for the pumpkins. I'm gonna flip all that dirt over, get that grass underneath. Hopefully that'll kill it off. And then we'll till that up a little bit and add some good soil on top. All right, so I'm gonna finish my rows and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so that broke up the soil pretty good, a couple inches down. That's all we really need. I am gonna go through and pull out all these big chunks that would not break up. Wow, that was a big one. Completely missed that. Let's see, any other big chunks? So we'll get all those out of here, and then we're gonna add some fertilizer. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna amend my soil with. This is very poor soil. It was junk topsoil that I brought in. It's got a ton of clay, and really I wouldn't consider it topsoil. Luckily they didn't charge me for it, so I can't argue with that. But we're gonna put some bone meal in there. We're gonna put some natural blood meal, and then you want an all-purpose fertilizer. I like the Happy Frog. It's only 13 bucks a bag. And there's all the info. You can pause it and read it if you want, but it's got all the nutrients we need and that mycorrhizal fungi, which is so good for plant roots and all that. So we'll put a handful of all of these in each row and we'll move on. All right, we got all our nutrients added, all our amendments. I'm just gonna grab the hoe and drag all that soil back in, cover it up, and then we'll mix it in real good with some better soil. All right, there we have it. We're gonna add some Miracle-Gro soil on top of that just to cover up all these chunks. And hopefully next year this will be a lot easier to dig. Okay, we got all our rows started. I'll admit they're not the best. We got a lot of chunks of sod in there, but I think we'll be fine. They're just pumpkins. And I've grown them in a lot worse conditions. All over along here last year and the year before there were pumpkins. So hopefully we get some better results this year. I got some giants on the way, so let's see. So I'll be back very soon to actually plant these things, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so it's been about 2 weeks since I prepped this bed. You can see I added some wood chips. I've also piled a bunch of finished compost on top. So it should be nice and healthy for the plants. I have here a whole bunch of pumpkins we'll be putting in today. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. We're gonna put that one in first. I have a bunch of jack-o'-lantern pumpkins and also Dill's giant pumpkins I found. So we're gonna dig a hole about the size of our container. And this is all that soil I mixed in down there, so should have a good mix. And with this compost added, I'm not gonna add any more plant food. So let's get this guy in here. You can see here we got lots of good roots. This one's curling around a little bit, so I'm just gonna spread those out. We don't want those to continue curling. And yeah, that looks pretty good, pretty healthy. So we'll put that guy in there. And I'm actually gonna mound up around it a little bit. So there we go. So there's our first one. I'm gonna continue planting and I'll show you guys the results. Okay, so there we have it. We're all planted up. I'm gonna go grab some labels and we'll get these labeled. I left all the pots next to them so that I could come back and label which are which. We have a mix of probably 2/3 jack-o'-lantern and 1/3 Dill's giant. So I'll be right back. All right, so one more thing. We got them all planted here, but this is kind of a choke point here for the deer. We have a lot of deer in the neighborhood and it's all swampy back there. And I have a fence, so they come through here just about every night. I don't want them to eat these things while they're young, so I'm gonna see if I can use some fencing to cover them up for a couple weeks, and then we'll see how that goes after that. So I'll do that now. All right, so I got that all watered in. I got some cages over them to protect them from the deer. Hopefully it's enough. And by September, we should have plenty of pumpkins. And by the end of October, we should be picking them. So I'll give you a nice update. Hopefully we have a huge pumpkin patch. All right, guys, so that's all we got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe.